Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. It's Friday, which means another crypto interest rates and news update. Today is the 5th of March 2021. And as always, we start by taking a look at any new coins and interest rate changes. And the big news is 2 new coins being added to BlockFi, that's Chainlink and Binance USD. And we'll talk through those in a little bit more detail. In other news, the March interest rates for Ledden have now gone live, 6% for Bitcoin, 12.5% for USDC. And there were some small changes also in Celsius, which I updated a couple of days ago. You can see here, last updated the 3rd of March. So moving on to the token prices, and it's been a week, I suppose, where we've had some choppy kind of like movement in the markets, but it's been choppy kind of sideways movement. We've seen some pushes down and some recoveries, and then some attempts to kind of like regain some sort of previous highs, and then kind of like pullbacks from that. So it's been trading sort of sideways within a relatively large range, but still trading pretty sideways. And I think the tokens are reflecting this. So crypto.com down 3.6%, Celsius Network down 6.5%, not amazing, but not horrendous. And Nexo up 3.5%, had a nice little spike over the last kind of couple of days before drawing back down a little bit today. But yeah, a lot of sideways movement. We're really kind of waiting for Bitcoin and all the large kind of alts to make a kind of breakout, either a substantial and kind of sustained breakout to the upside or the downside. I think we're probably going to chop sideways maybe for another week before seeing some nice kind of like pushes higher. But yeah, been a pretty flat week kind of on the markets and reflected in the token prices here. And then got a few stories for BlockFi. So as we just mentioned, they have added Chainlink and Binance USD to the platform. Now they don't list a huge amount of coins. They certainly don't add coins that often. So really nice to see Chainlink. It's had a good year this year, gained a huge amount of kind of market cap, a lot of investment, a lot of interest in Chainlink, really. So nice to see that reflected in a listing for interest on BlockFi. And if we jump over to the interest rates, let's just highlight Chainlink here. You can see 5.5% on BlockFi is a decent rate, actually. And like for like, far better than crypto.com, 0.5%. Celsius Network 4.51 paid in kind. And Nexo without any tokens paid in kind 5%. So 5.5%, the best of the paid in kind rates. You can get higher rates through locking up tokens, earning in tokens, etc., etc. And then moving down here to Binance USD, again 8.6%, a little bit worse here. So Celsius substantially higher, 12.5% paid in kind, up to almost 16% paid in Celsius. But the paid in kind figure here, 12.5%, substantially higher than BlockFi. And I think BlockFi's rates, Tether's a fraction higher at 9.3, but 8.6 for all their other stable coins is not that competitive, I don't think. I mean, it's better than kind of Nexo. Their base rate earning in kind is 8%, but you know, substantially worse than Celsius Network and indeed kind of Ledden for USDC, 12.5 offered on both of those. Now, Celsius obviously have the tokens. They can potentially have that flexibility to offer a slightly higher price, same as Nexo, up to 12% if you have if you choose to earn in Nexo and have 10% kind of tokens. But Ledden are offering 12.5% without any kind of tokenomics or anything like that. So it'd be nice to see BlockFi maybe raise these stablecoin rates at some point. And then moving on with BlockFi, another story from BlockFi this week is that they have a new hire, basically Greg Collett, who will be heading up their investment products, so the new head of investment products. Now he comes from a gold background, a lot of products within the kind of gold space, and I think this is really kind of like reflects the push that BlockFi are having at the moment into institutional kind of investment and stuff like that. So you can read the whole story as always here. I'll put all links to all of these in the description below, but nice to see BlockFi, a little bit of an expansion, and bringing on some kind of like pretty heavyweight kind of players. And then moving on to crypto.com, we have the Supercharger event. So the latest Supercharger event, it's been live for the last 6 days. So this went live just after the video last week. But Doge is the new coin in the Supercharger. Seems to be very popular at the moment. Obviously, we had the all the kind of meme stuff with Elon Musk, and then the Wall Street bets pumping up the kind of price of Doge. So that's the latest coin available on the Supercharger. If you have CRO on the crypto.com exchange. This is done on the exchange. You can deposit into the supercharger. It charges for 30 days and then it pays out for 30 days. So you hold your CRO for 30 days and then you will get paid out Doge every day for the next 30 days in proportion to how many CRO you had in relation to the size of the total amount. And then a really interesting story from crypto.com, got this a couple of days ago. Basically, they're partnered with the Aston Martin Cognizant Formula One team. So this used to be Racing Point. And at first I thought maybe it was just like a little kind of like tie-up or a little collaboration. But if you actually look at the launch images, this is the 2021 car, the new Aston Martin car. You can see quite substantial kind of branding on the side pods here for crypto.com. So I don't know exactly how much they have paid to get on here, but I doubt it was kind of cheap. So nice to see, any kind of publicity, any kind of push within kind of cryptocurrencies. It's a new audience, maybe, people looking at things for the kind of first time. Might be good branding for them, crypto.com. No doubt they get some nice kind of like glossy pictures to use in their marketing stuff, but interesting to see this. It'd be interesting to know how much they kind of paid. I don't know if that information is out there. I couldn't find anything on it. And then lastly, our last story this week. Oh, actually, before we go on to this, crypto.com actually was another story that they have lowered their minimum BTC purchase on their app. So if you use the crypto.com app, their minimum Bitcoin purchase is now $1. They've lowered it to $1. You could buy $1 at a time. Maybe you wanted the dollar cost average and buy $1 a day or something like that. You can now do that. And then moving on to this, I only received this earlier today, so I haven't had a chance to go through it in detail, but basically Earn on Crypto. So this is the crypto interest account on Nexo. They've actually launched some fixed term options now. So with cryptocurrencies, the fixed term is a month, so it's a month lockup, and with fiat, so not everybody knows this, but you can actually deposit fiat. I think US dollars, euros, and Great British pounds, certainly. I'm not sure about other currencies. And that's a 3-month kind of lockup. And you can see on the tables here, so the base rate earning on crypto would be 4%. If you choose to lock up for a month, you get 5%. So if you choose to earn in Nexo, the base rate is 6%, and that would be 7% if you lock up for a month. So basically 1% higher than whatever you were doing before. Now I have slight concerns, or relatively large kind of concerns about any kind of lockups with these kind of accounts. Maybe slightly less so with the fiat rates, because obviously people are more used to kind of like tying up fiat money with a lack of or more stability, on the fiat side for longer kind of terms. But with crypto, it's so volatile. I'm not necessarily sure you would want to be locking up a month potentially. Certainly probably not the 3 months on the crypto.com best kind of rates. But I've got mixed kind of feelings here. You can earn a little bit more if you have coins that you're going to hold for the long term. You want to hold them for the long term on the Nexo app. It might be an option to get a little bit more. The nice thing is you can actually break it down, so you don't have to make a decision to hold everything fixed or everything kind of flexible. You can split it up. So you can see this sample account here, this kind of demo account, 4.5 Bitcoin, and they are locking up 2 of it in a monthly fixed term and the rest of it in the flexible interest rate kind of term. So interesting to see you can do that. If you wanted to play, might be a nice way to go about it. But I always think, there's slightly more risk if you're locking anything up for a period of time. And we saw what happened to people that had locked up CRO with the crypto.com kind of price. The price, being quite high, people kind of locked up, and then the price was absolutely decimated and people couldn't really do anything about it. I think the other thing is, with Cred, which required kind of lockups, and obviously they went bust. Now, I'm not suggesting that Nexo are going to go bust, but if there was negative news about Nexo or any of these kind of platforms and your crypto is tied up, does mean you can't really react to any kind of like news or anything like that. Whereas, potentially kind of like bad news or something like that, maybe there was a hack on an exchange or something like that, you might want to get your kind of funds out. And obviously, if you are locked up into a term, even if it's a monthly term, you are locked in. You wouldn't be able to get your funds back until that was that term ended. So do be wary if you're looking at this. There's a nice article here, so you can read all the different things. They've got some benefits of fixed terms. But as I said, do be wary of locking up your kind of crypto for any period of time. I think particularly in a bull run, particularly maybe later on in this kind of bull run towards the end of the year, where people may be trying to get out towards the kind of top, you wouldn't want to hold through a kind of like a month of really kind of great gains, and then massive kind of like losses as it kind of pulls back down. But that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching as always. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. If you could give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, anything like that really helps the YouTube algorithm. But hopefully I'll see you on the next video. I hope you're keeping safe and well, as I said, and see you soon. Have a great day. Bye bye.